My fiancée told her friends she was just using me till the party, said I was a nerdy coder and she wanted a tech exec next. So I sent a video to every guest exposing her blog and bounced before the champagne was poured. They say love makes you blind. I guess I was deaf, too. My name is Bryce. I'm 32, live in Seattle, and I've spent the last 3 years building both my indie game studio and what I thought was the perfect relationship. Tara, my fiancée, was the kind of woman who lit up a room, smart, funny, gorgeous, and way out of my league, at least according to my friends. I didn't care. She said she loved me, and I believed her. So when she asked for an engagement party that felt high-end but not tacky, I didn't blink. I wanted her to have everything. The night it all cracked was just a few weeks before the big party. We were on the rooftop of Lana's building, one of those casual hangouts with wine, fairy lights, and overpriced hummus. I was talking to Lana's boyfriend about retro game mechanics when I noticed Tara had stepped aside with her two best friends, Lana and Nina. They didn't know I was nearby. I only caught what they were saying because I bent down to pick up a napkin that flew near their table. I swear, Tara said, laughing, I'm just sticking with him until after the party. The air left my lungs before the words even finished landing. I froze. Nina gasped. Wait, seriously? You're breaking it off after? Tara giggled. Of course. Come on, Bryce is sweet, but he's not it. The guy codes little pixel people for a living. I'm aiming higher after this. Someone with, like, an actual tech exec title. This party's gonna be full of them. Lana added, ugh, but isn't he paying for all of it? Oh, totally, Tara said, brushing her hair back. That's the point. I get the photos, the exposure, and then, exit stage left. They all burst into laughter like it was a scene from some cruel sitcom. I stood there, napkin in hand, staring at the skyline. My heart beat so loud I barely heard anything else. My face must have looked like a man seeing a ghost, but I didn't let it show. When I turned around and walked back to the group, I smiled like nothing happened, nodded through the rest of the conversation, pretended I hadn't just had the ground pulled out from under me. Because in that moment, in that flash of betrayal wrapped in fake laughter, I knew. Everything I thought we had was a lie. All the morning she kissed my cheek while I coded, all the time she said she was proud of me. Lies. But I didn't rage. I didn't cry. I did something worse. I started calculating. Because if she wanted a show, I'd give her one, just not the ending she expected. From that rooftop night on, I played my part like nothing had changed. I still kissed Tara good morning. Still brought her coffee in bed. Still smiled when she showed me the latest Pinterest boards for the engagement party. Vintage glam with a tech twist, she said, like we were curating a magazine shoot. I nodded and agreed with everything. Meanwhile, inside, I felt like I was watching our relationship from a distance, like a player in a game I didn't want to win. Tara insisted on going all out. It's not about us, babe, she said, holding up a swatch of champagne-colored linen. It's about the vibe, the aesthetic, the kind of thing people talk about afterward. And by people, she meant men in tailored blazers and six-figure bonuses. I knew the type. We met with a celebrity photographer who charged enough to shoot royalty. Tara didn't even blink at the quote. I want the golden hour rooftop shots, she said, with drone footage. Imagine the reels. She handed over my credit card without hesitation, and I let her. Every vendor she picked, florals, lighting, bar service, was top tier, and every single invoice went through our shared wedding account, the one I'd been funding for months. But now, every time she made a new deposit request, I quietly moved twice that amount out. I rerouted transfers, canceled auto payments. Bit by bit, I siphoned the cash into a private account she didn't know existed. Just enough to keep the game going, just enough for her not to notice. I even started asking innocent questions. Hey, babe, do we have cancellation clauses with the venue? Just in case weather gets weird. She waved me off, scrolling through a mood board. Yeah, I think so. Why? No reason, I said. Just want to be thorough. Behind the scenes, I was doing more than being thorough. I emailed every vendor under the guise of just confirming the fine print. I took screenshots of refund policies. I read the contract for the penthouse venue 3 times and highlighted every clause about deposit returns and event cancellation. I became an expert in unraveling a party before it happened. Tara was too busy planning her big debut to notice. She posted mirror selfies in expensive outfits she claimed were borrowed for content, but I saw the bank charges. New shoes, designer bags, makeup hauls she labeled as branding investments, all paid for by the fool with the coding job. That was fine. I let her play queen. Because queens fall hard when the throne gets yanked out from under them. It started with a ping on Tara's tablet. She'd left it on the couch while she was getting ready for another bridal brunch. A notification popped up, not from Instagram or Gmail, but from some site called Honeygloss. I wouldn't have looked twice, but the preview caught my eye. Week 17. How to maintain the rich girl image when your bank account says otherwise. Curious, I tapped it. The app opened to a sleek pink blog dashboard. And there it was, Trophy Ascending, her blog. Not Tara's real name. Just T. It was all there. Post after post about navigating the social ladder, strategic relationships, and how to turn your nerdy boyfriend into your launchpad. One headline read, Dating the App Guy, Pros, Cons, and When to Trade Up. My stomach twisted as I scrolled. She called me the builder, said guys like me were useful for funding the transition from middle class to lifestyle influencer. Another post detailed how she curated a tech-adjacent aesthetic by leveraging her fiancé's disposable income. She broke down outfits I'd bought her and even explained how to make a cheap tablet look like a luxury accessory. But the worst post, the one that made my skin crawl, was titled The Pivot Plan, From Beta to Boardroom. She wrote about a man she'd met at an art gala, a tech investor named Nathan who actually mattered. According to her, they'd connected over a conversation about AI and fashion marketing, and she ended the post with, Timing is everything. First comes the party. Then comes the upgrade. I felt like I was watching someone else's life, like I'd been dating a character she built for convenience. My house, my money, my face in her filtered photos, all props. She even had spreadsheets linked. One labeled Outreach Targets, listed potential post-party contacts, investors, founders, and startup bros she planned to schmooze at the engagement. She had circled two with the tag, Long-Term Potential. I took screenshots of everything. Every post. Every spreadsheet. Every comment she made trashing me, mocking me, strategizing how to move on from me. It was a business plan, not a relationship. And I was the startup capital. I backed out of the blog, deleted the app from her tablet, and left everything exactly where she had it. She'd never know I saw it. When she came back out of the bedroom, she twirled in a silk dress and asked, Do you think this screams CEO's future wife or low maintenance with high-end taste? I smiled. You nailed both. She grinned, kissed my cheek, and snapped a selfie with me in the background like a piece of furniture. I went to my office after she left and made a new folder on my desktop, Exit Strategy. Inside, I pasted every screenshot. I knew now this wasn't love. It was a performance, and I had just found the script. I didn't expect help to come from inside her own family. It started with a message request on Instagram, one I almost deleted, thinking it was spam. But the profile picture stopped me. Mia, Tara's cousin. The one who always stayed quiet at dinners and gave me that look, like she knew something I didn't, but didn't want to be the one to say it. Hey Bryce, I know this is weird, but can we talk? It's about Tara. I think you deserve to know what I know. I hesitated for half a day before replying. We met the next morning at a coffee shop in Capitol Hill. She was already seated when I walked in, hair in a loose bun, no makeup, hands wrapped tight around her mug like it was the only thing keeping her grounded. You look tired, she said gently. Long month, I replied. She nodded like she expected that. I'm not here to stir things up, she started. I've watched Tara do this before, and it kills me to watch it happen again. That got my attention. I leaned in. Do what before? She exhaled. Use people. Date artists, musicians, guys who were always grinding. And when they got some traction, she'd drop them and climb to the next level. I know at least 3 guys who paid her rent while she built her brand. I stayed quiet. I wanted her to keep talking. She never used to talk about you like the others, Mia said, eyes flicking toward the window. At first, I thought maybe she changed. But then the party, the outfits, the way she brags about the guest list. I pulled out my phone, showed her a screenshot from the blog. Mia blinked, took a long sip of her coffee, and whispered, Jesus, she's planning to leave me. I said, matter of fact. Mia nodded slowly. After the party. That's her move. I sat back in my chair. So why tell me? Because, she said, voice low but fierce. I'm sick of watching her hurt people who actually care. And maybe this time, she picked the wrong guy. I didn't say anything for a moment. Then I asked, would you be willing to back me up if this goes south? Mia didn't hesitate. Absolutely. The day of the engagement party started with sunlight and silence. I woke up early, made coffee, and stared at the ceiling while it brewed. My inbox was full of confirmations, caterers, photographers, valet service, rooftop venue staff. The penthouse Tara had chosen downtown was booked solid, champagne pyramids, custom flower arrangements, a string quartet on standby. She'd spent weeks perfecting the guest list. We need startup founders, tech VPs, brand consultants. People who matter. I was just the guy footing the bill. Tara didn't notice the shift in me. She was too wrapped up in her moment. She'd spent the night before at the penthouse with her friends and stylists, getting everything camera ready. She texted me around 6 a.m., assuming I'd be at the venue by 10. Remember to wear the navy suit. And don't forget the watch I picked out for photos. Hair neat. Be on time. Love you. I didn't respond. Instead, I opened a folder on my laptop titled, Goodbye, T. Inside was the video I'd spent all week editing. It was about 4 minutes long, a clean montage of clips, screenshots, and voiceovers. Footage of her laughing with her friends on the rooftop, calling me a stepping stone. Screenshots from her blog posts, dating the app guy, the pivot plan. Snippets of her texts bragging about what she'd wear once the upgrade kicks in. I added a closing title card. To our guests, thank you for coming. I hope this clears a few things up. Then I scheduled it. The email was set to send at 2:30 p.m., 30 minutes before the party officially started. I included the guest list Tara had provided, plus her influencer friends and a few industry names I knew she'd kill to impress. BCC'd everyone. Subject line, before you celebrate us, please watch this. Then I turned off my phone, packed a small duffel bag, and got in the car. No dramatic exits. No fights. Just silence and calm. I was gone by the time Tara slipped into her white lace gown, assuming everything was under control. I imagined her sipping champagne, getting her makeup touched up, giving orders to her stylist and event planner. She probably thought she was hours away from sealing the next phase of her life, the one where I was conveniently erased after she collected the clout. By noon, I was already outside the city limits. No one knew yet. No one had read the email. The venue staff were still setting out signature cocktails. The rooftop was being draped in fabric she chose while explaining to me that a good backdrop matters more than love. And when the guests arrived, when the champagne started to flow, and someone finally opened the email on their phone, clicked the video link, and pressed play, she'd realize I wasn't coming, that this wasn't a celebration. It was a reveal. No confrontation. No screaming match. Just a single, clear message to everyone she wanted to impress. This is who she really is. And me? I'd be long gone by the time they hit replay. Tara's dream day unraveled faster than a cheap satin ribbon. The guests started arriving just after 2. All of them dressed to impress startup founders, marketing execs, brand reps, and enough influencers to flood an algorithm. The rooftop looked like a scene from a luxury wedding blog. Champagne glasses shimmered, florals lined the terrace, and the skyline behind it all gleamed like something out of a Pinterest board. Tara floated through it in her custom gown, posing for early photos, lips glossed and phone never more than 6 inches from her hand. She smiled, laughed, tossed her hair just right. To anyone watching, she looked like the star of the show. Until the first phone buzzed. Then another. And another. Within 5 minutes, the rooftop went eerily quiet. People stopped mid-sentence. Conversations cut off. Glasses hovered, forgotten. Screens lit up with the same subject line. Before you celebrate us, please watch this. Tara was still talking to the photographer when Nina grabbed her arm, phone shaking in her hand. Tara, what is this? Tara blinked. What? Lana appeared next, wide-eyed. You need to see this right now. Someone had cast the video onto the venue's smart TV before the staff could stop it. Her voice filled the space, laughing, mocking, scheming. Screenshots flashed. Her blog, her captions, her private messages. Every carefully hidden move laid out in 4 devastating minutes. The room didn't erupt. It just sank. A silence descended like fog. Embarrassed coughs. A wine glass hitting the floor. Then whispers. This is real. Did she seriously call him a stepping stone? She was using him. Was that her blog? Tara stood frozen, eyes locked on the TV, face drained of color. She turned in slow motion, scanning the crowd for me. Her gaze darted to the entrance, to the corners of the room, back to her phone. She started calling. Once, twice. Then again. I didn't answer. Messages started stacking up. Missed calls. Texts that shifted from confusion to panic to fury. Tara, where are you? What the hell is going on? Tara, you better fix this. Right now. Tara, I will ruin you if you don't answer me. Tara, Bryce, please, just talk to me. I didn't talk. I drove. By the time she was grabbing the mic to deny it all, to say the video was fake, that someone was trying to sabotage her, half the room had already left. The others stood in uncomfortable clusters, avoiding her gaze. The photographer packed up without a word. The caterer quietly confirmed final payment, then disappeared. The tech investor she'd been grooming? Ghosted. Publicly. Left a comment on her Instagram before deleting it 10 minutes later. Never thought I'd be part of someone's PR stunt. Best of luck, though. By sunset, Tara was alone on a rooftop full of wilted flowers and empty chairs, trying to salvage the ruins of her fantasy. And me? I was 200 miles away, somewhere between pine trees and clean air, rolling down the window for the first time in months. The fallout didn't take days. It took hours. By Monday morning, Tara's blog was offline. Her influencer accounts had gone dark. The comments on her latest posts, the ones she hadn't deleted fast enough, were brutal. So you were just gold digging for content. Not a good look, sis. Hope the exposure was worth it. Bryce deserves an award for surviving this circus. Then came the professional consequences. Her boutique marketing job, the one she always said was a stepping stone, issued a bland public statement about reviewing employee conduct. Within 2 days, she was gone. Someone leaked screenshots from her blog to a tech gossip site, and from there, it went viral, especially the post about dating for influence. Apparently, her boss didn't think that was great branding. Mia kept me updated in short bursts. She wasn't smug about it, just honest. She's spiraling. Her brand collabs are all pulling out. She tried blaming Nina, then me. Nobody's buying it. Her parents, who had co-signed the rental agreement for the engagement party penthouse, weren't thrilled to discover the event had turned into a scandal. Especially not when the venue kept half the deposit after I canceled the final payment from my end. They'd spent more than they could afford trying to make her look successful. Now they were stuck holding the bill. The last I heard, Tara had moved back in with them. Back to her old room, stripped of the glam furniture she'd staged for photos. Her mom's SUV was in every background now. No more chic rides in borrowed Teslas. She tried to salvage her brand. Posted a vague statement about online harassment and misrepresentation. No one believed it. The receipts were too real, too specific, too public. I never said a word. Not online. Not to the press. Not even when a YouTuber reached out asking if I wanted to share my side. I didn't need to. Tara's empire wasn't crushed by a takedown. It collapsed under its own weight. She built it on manipulation, ambition, and filtered lies. And the moment the truth came out, it shattered. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. I just sat back and watched. Because sometimes, justice doesn't show up with a bang. Sometimes it comes in the form of silence, missed calls, and a deleted account. I spent the first week after the party off the grid. No texts. No meetings. No doom scrolling through the mess Tara left behind. Just me, my laptop, and a rented cabin near Lake Chelan. Trees. Quiet. A signal barely strong enough for email, which was exactly how I wanted it. I opened up a new project file on day 2. Something small. Something ridiculous, honestly. A satirical RPG where the hero escapes a kingdom full of gold diggers, influencers, and fake friends. It started as a joke, but by the end of the week, I had a name, Clout Chaser Chronicles. It felt good to build something for myself again. Back home, my inbox had blown up, not from friends, but from press, podcasters, a couple of indie publishers who had always believed in my talent. Apparently, going viral in the most humiliating breakup of the year came with free exposure. A few even said they loved the cinematic quality of how I handled it. I didn't respond to any of them. I wasn't trying to be famous. I just wanted my life back. Still, the attention helped. When I teased a few early clips from the game on Reddit, it blew up. Not because of me, but because people loved the idea. A role-playing game where you dodge shallow partners, build your self-worth stat, and reclaim your peace? Apparently, I wasn't the only one who needed that. Pre-orders rolled in. An old friend from college offered to help with voice acting. A streamer with 500,000 followers messaged me asking for a beta key. And just like that, the thing I thought Tara would ruin, my passion, my business, started to grow. One night, I sat on the dock by the lake with a beer in hand, watching the moon ripple across the water. I thought about all of it. The party, the lies, the betrayal, the months I spent blind to what was right in front of me. But I didn't feel bitter. I felt free. I dodged a bullet. A pretty one, sure. A smart one. But a bullet nonetheless. And if I'd gone through with the wedding? God knows how deep the damage would have gone. Somewhere out there, Tara was probably still trying to spin the story. Me? I was just writing my own. The next morning, I opened a new save file and gave the main character my name. This time, the quest wasn't about saving a princess. It was about saving myself.